V-Rising is the new game from Swedish developer Stunlock Studios. Having focused on MOBAs in the recent years, how does their experience in that field translate into the survival genre? The premise is fairly simple. After years of waiting, you, a vampire, awaken to retaken the world from the food that so callously sent you into hiding. There's not much in the way of story as you progress through the game, though it does offer some background lore before entering, as well as some backstory for each of the many bosses you come up against. And these bosses are great. Some are easier than others, but scaling feels about right, and all have their own unique mechanics and abilities to make each feel fresh. This is hard to pull off with almost 40 in the game already, so hats off to the devs here. Trash enemies aren't left out of this treatment either, with each of the large, sprawling areas offering a plethora of food that will try to survive in a wide variety of ways. Talking of food, whilst this is a survival aRPG on paper, it's more survival light. It's extremely rare to find yourself in need of blood, unless you were just resurrected after failing a boss for the third time in a row, and finding a meal is never difficult. The environment is much less forgiving, however, with daytime navigation a risky endeavour due to the sun, and human settlements being protected with the likes of garlic and holy symbols. This is of course made easier as you scale. Stunlock have opted to forgo the typical experience and level system, instead going down the route of a gear-based system. Obtaining this gear can be a grind, as is expected with survival games, so be prepared to mount many an excursion to find the resources and research notes you need. Or just send the thralls that you entice back to your castle to do the gathering for you. Talking of castle, no survival game would be complete without building. The building system is intuitive and easy to use, if somewhat limited in its capabilities, mostly due to the top-down style. Multiple tier castles are not a thing here. All this to make fighting your way through human settlements to reach bosses easier, wherein Stunlock's MOBA experience clearly shows. Combat is simple enough, with standard attacks, 2 specials, 2 spells and an ultimate, but it flows together really nicely. The 7 weapon types are sufficiently varied, and the abilities you get from defeating bosses are all quite unique. We do have a gripe with those, however, in that some obtained from later bosses feel underwhelming compared to earlier acquisitions. As for how everything looks, it's great. The dark gothic style fits the setting perfectly, with enemy and character designs being great even though they're stylized. General world design is also excellent. Sound design is good too. Environmental effects sound right, spells and attacks sound impactful, and music is subtle yet well composed and arranged. So to conclude, V-Rising, despite being in early access, is already a well-rounded addition to the crowded survival space, drawing on the devs' experience of the MOBA genre to create a survival experience somewhat unique. As this is still early access, we won't be assigning a score, but we will make mention of things such as bugs. There aren't any. Barring one odd connection issue that may have actually been Steam, this feels like a finished product already. If you're someone who enjoys survival games, or someone who enjoys top-down aRPGs or MOBAs, this could be one to take a punt at. V-Rising is currently £15 or $20 on Steam, and all of us at We Small Band have more than gotten our money's worth already. Leave your thoughts down below, and with that we thank you for watching. We'll catch you all next time.